Welcome to another Vatech Lunch and Learn series. I'm Jim Mayer, Education Team Director.
And I'm Paul Satone, West Coast Education Specialist for Vatech. We're here with you today for a very special Lunch and Learn.
Yeah, we have actually a special guest with us from our HQ over there in New Jersey, Roger Diaz. Welcome, Roger.
Hey guys, how are you?
Doing well. Roger, thanks for being with us today. Really kind of a special topic. We've been covering more patient positioning and software, and today we really wanted to talk more about updating the Vatech software. Everybody is familiar with the need to keep up to date, and this is something that you deal with, every day, and kind of we're going to call you our expert.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm excited to talk about this subject, and thank you guys for giving us the opportunity to learn about this.
Yeah, and hey, Roger, tell us a little bit about you. How long have you been with Vatech?
I've been here for about 7 years in October. I'm currently a sales enablement associate, helping our sales team from a technical and administrative perspective. So things like software upgrades are something that I deal with a lot, whether it be talking to a sales rep or an end user. It's a fairly smooth process, so hopefully this webinar is going to be able to show you, the end user, how to do so with your IT provider.
So along the lines of updating software, Roger, one of the questions we really need to start with is how do we even know if our software needs to be updated? So if you could take us through kind of where to look in the software to find out what version we need, and then let's go to our website and identify where those modules are at. So let me go ahead and open up my EasyDent software, and then the first thing we need to do is find out what version of software we have here.
Absolutely. So depending on the unit that you have, you may have one or two softwares, EasyDent or Easy3D. Finding the version of the software is similar in both programs. You basically go to the top left corner of your programs, click on the main menu, and go down to About. About is going to show you your software version, along with other information, including your license information and the EULA agreement. So from there, you can check the version number for both programs and then compare that to what we have on our support page. And if on our support page you see a more updated version of the program, you can then download it and upgrade it.
All right, so let me get to our support page here, and I've got our website up right here. Let's go up to Service and Support. And Roger, if I scroll down, a lot of things on here. We've got our computer requirements. Do you recommend going down here to frequently used links and clicking on the install kits, or what path do you recommend us looking at?
Absolutely. So in order to download the software, you would need to click on one of those download links with the installation kits associated. But ideally, what you want to do is prepare for the software upgrade. So if you scroll back up on our support page, you will see that frequently asked questions hyperlink next to the gentleman with the headset, or the FAQ button in the center. And in the search bar, type in Easy Series. Easy Series is a broad term that we would use to describe our suite of software. Easy Server, which hosts the data, EasyDent, which is the image management program, and Easy3D, which is the CT viewer where you can do your treatment planning. Within that FAQ, you will see that third article, how to update Easy Series. If you review this with your IT provider, they should get a good idea as to how to go about the upgrade from start all the way down to finish.
Right, and I can see on here it shows us our current versions of Easy Server and our EasyDent and our Easy, everything all the way through here with detailed instructions on there.
Correct. Yep. We try to make it as convenient as possible for the end user to have everything that they would need. Not that we don't want you guys to call in and ask questions to us, but we want to make sure that you have the information readily available, and your IT provider is going to be extremely happy about not having to ask questions afterwards. But you can call us anyway. It's all good.
So Roger, one big question concerning the software versions and data is, how do we back up? How often do we back up? What is the process? So can you kind of fill us in on one of those? That's a hot topic, I would say.
For sure. Absolutely. So backups are important, not just for your imaging data, but for any data that a practice is going to have in general. So if you don't already do, please connect with your IT provider and have a backup plan in place in the event of a disaster happening. We don't want to have a computer such as a server go down or a capture PC with your data on it and you have no way to recover it. So similarly to the FAQ guide that we pulled up from the Easy series, we have one for backup documentation. So if in the search bar, you type in backup and click search, you'll have a couple of articles that come up. The third article, how to back up Easy Dent Eye software, is going to show your IT provider and the end user exactly what needs to be done in order to create a sustainable working backup for your data. So go ahead and click on that Easy Dent Eye DB backup documentation link, and this will pull up a PDF file for you. It's a bit lengthy, but it's necessary to review in order for you guys to have a plan for disaster recovery.
And Roger, really, this is the first step even before we update our software is we have to back up to get all the patient data backed up before we do our updates to our Dent-Eye or Easy Server or any of this. So this is really, I would say, probably step one.
Absolutely. Like I mentioned earlier, before the installation, we got to prepare. So preparing for the backup, preparing for a software upgrade is ideal. I'd rather spend more time preparing for a task so that it can be done properly as opposed to not, and then just kind of going on, winging it, for example.
So Roger, you've kind of guided us through, identifying the FAQ, backing up. Let's talk about really quick downloading the software. We're here on our FAQ page, and we said we're going to do our download our Easy Server. So once I get that downloaded, tell me about what's going to happen whenever I do run this update. Do I have to uninstall and reinstall, or should this kind of guide me through the updates?
Great question. So once you have the software downloaded, all you would need to do is run the update. The installation wizard will give you a prompt to update the software, and just run the installation wizard, and you should be good to go once it's done.
Perfect. And it's just going to guide me through that.
Absolutely. Very simple installation process, especially with the updates, because the software is already there. So you don't have to configure anything. You just update it. And at the end of the installation, if you want to do a reboot just to be on the safe side, you can do that.
Perfect. And that was going to be my next question is, should I reboot? Is that obviously was really a good idea to do that in general?
Best practice is to reboot. Yes, sir.
Gotcha. Awesome.
So Roger, another question I guess that we get, especially when we're on site and we're getting questions about updating, the server, the workstations. So do the workstations have to be updated individually, or does the server automatically do it, or what is the process to get your individual workstations, side stations updated?
Yeah, absolutely. So once you have all your software downloaded, this is going to be something that your IT can set up, but ideally you'd want to put all the installers into a shared folder that can be accessed by all the workstations, just to make the process of downloading and installing a little bit more easy. So once you install the server portion of the program, each individual workstation would have to have matching versions. There are some setting changes depending on what version you are in our Easy Series program. So having everything uniform would be ideal.
Perfect. That's going to be important. So basically you're saying, so we're all in the same version, right? Otherwise you might have issues.
Absolutely, yeah. So you may get a file server error in one, you may get a database error in another if they're on different versions of the program. So making sure that everything is uniform is ideal. And like I mentioned, that shared folder is gonna be extremely helpful. So you don't have to download the software on every workstation again. You just pull it from one centralized location, and it makes the update that much smoother.
Perfect, thanks for that.
Of course.
All right, guys. Should we do a quick recap? I mean, Roger, I think that really takes us from all the points we wanted to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I mentioned, the preparation of the software upgrade is key. Making sure that we're able to get all the software downloaded and the FAQs reviewed, and especially the backup done before anything, just in case. You want to be on the safe side when it comes to these sorts of things. So if we're able to have the backup, have the installers in place. Ideally, this is done on an administrative day. In my experience, you typically wouldn't want to do this during production. You have assistants here, assistants there. Office manager may not be available to help. Maybe the IT provider is going to be a little bit more comfortable doing this on a day when they're not seeing patients. So I would say those are the main things. Just doing this when you have the time and resources to do so. Review the backup, create a backup, have the installers ready, and just make sure that everything is uniform in terms of software version.
And it seems under our FAQ, how to install the software, it takes you step by step and really version by version on there. So we have it all in place on our website. Through that.
Absolutely, super convenient stuff. We have ITs calling in, we send them the FAQs, and the next day they send emails thanking us because they didn't have to, go back and forth with us on what the installation process was. Everything went smoothly, and happy end user, happy support team.
Roger, today we've covered updating software. I think in the future we might do another webinar on easy 3DI and doing some add-ons like our implant database that we'll call the Davis tool, console videos. So I think people can kind of look forward to that and maybe some future sessions.
Yeah, those are definitely going to be important topics to cover in the future because those features are important to the treatment planning process. Console videos, implant lineups, depending on what manufacturers are available within that database, and 3DI in general. So thank you, Jim. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us today on this a little more CS and service support in the software with updating software. So Roger, we really appreciate you and your time taking it out of your day to join us and everything. So thank you very much, and we will connect with you in the future.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Paul.
Thank
you, Jim.
Thanks, Roger.
Guys, hopefully see you guys soon. And thank you.
So thank you, everyone, for joining us today. If you guys have any questions for the education team, please reach out to us at education@vatechamerica.com.
Yeah, and don't forget about our webinar schedule for upcoming webinars. You can see on the homepage, go to webinar schedule here, and you'll have all of our upcoming sessions found under meetings and events. And then also everything, we have a lot of recordings from past events. So you can find them under the Education Academy, under webinar. We have our software tutorials and also devices over here of 3D imaging, but also have our 2D imaging and even our intraoral sensors on there now. Over 200 hours of recorded session there.
Yeah, lots of content.
Well, I want to thank everyone for joining us today. And we look forward to our next session with you.
Thank you.